everybody, and welcome back to The Good Life. And to me, The Good Life is always about spending time in the kitchen, cooking for family and friends. And today we're going to have fun. We're going to be cooking an angel food cake, which is one of my favorite desserts. And just to get started, let you know where I got the recipe from. A friend of mine, Mary Moore, who is the founder and owner of Cook's Warehouse here in Atlanta, she donated her grandmother's recipe called Mimi's Magnificent Angel Food Cake. And this is in Shirley Corriher's Bakewise book. It's a wonderful book for baking breads and pastries and things. So before we get started, I want to tell you what the ingredients are. And so that way we can just finish off with the recipe and it'll go very smoothly and quickly. So the first thing you want to do is have 1.5 cups of sugar, and you want to divide it by 2 because half of it, 3/4 of a cup, is going to go into the flour mixture and 3/4 will go into the egg whites mixture before we combine it all together. You want 1/8 cups of sifted cake flour. And cake flour is different from regular all-purpose flour. It has a finer grain and it's going to make a finer crumbed cake. So keep that in mind when you buy your flour for this angel food cake. You want 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 10 to 12 large eggs and egg whites. And what you're going to do is separate the egg yolks from the egg whites. Be sure that none of the eggs break when you're separating them, because if any of the egg yolk, which is oily, gets into your egg white, then it's not going to foam up. No matter how long you beat it, it's not going to get a nice fluffy egg white. So you want to be sure to cleanly separate them so that your egg is separated, you know that nothing is broken, and then you can put your egg white in the container that you want to reach up to your 1.5 cups of egg whites. Cream of tartar. You want 1/4 teaspoons of cream of tartar. It'll come in a container like this. What this is important for is when you're beating your egg white, it'll help stabilize your egg white, whiten your cake in the end, give it a nice a grain to it. And anyway, it's a very important stabilizer when you are beating your egg whites. And otherwise you can use maybe a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of vinegar, but you need some sort of stabilizer to help lighten your angel food cake so it won't fall and collapse. And then finally 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and we have vanilla bean paste. You can substitute the two, and what's nice about this, sometimes you put it in your whipping cream or in ice cream or something, it has like the little seeds of the vanilla bean. So let's get started, and the first thing we're going to do is get our flour mixture together. So here we go, and you want to sift your flour. Okey doke. Take your half of the sugar, the 3/4 cup, and then your salt, and we are just going to quickly whisk this together. Put that aside, and now moving on to your egg whites. So we're going to add our 1.5 cups of egg whites. And you want to beat it until it's frothy, and once it's frothy, then we can put the cream of tartar in. Okay, this looks nice and frothy. So in goes the cream of tartar. Now you're looking for soft peaks to form. What that means is when you move it around like this, you can see they're not holding their peaks, but they're very soft. And this is when we start to add our sugar very gradually. The next 3/4 cup, and turn it on. Okay, now what we're looking for are the firmer peaks as opposed to the soft peaks that we saw earlier. And that's really nice. So right when we get to this point, we're going to add our vanilla. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our flour mixture, and in about 4 stages we want to fold it into our egg whites mixture. So by folding, we're lifting it up while incorporating the flour. You don't want to undo all that aerating that you just did in with your beater. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but you kind of want to see after each step that you have incorporated your flour fairly well. Okay, one last time. You want to see that you are folding in all the flour, and once you think that you have completely folded it in, stir it around a couple more times. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So sometimes you'll see a cake pan for angel food cake looking like this as one solid piece. Mine is a 2-part cake pan, so it just makes it easier to take out of the pan once it's done cooking and cooling. So what I'm going to do right now is run this under hot water and then just kind of let it drip out a little bit, and then I'll be right back. Now, take your batter and just put it fairly carefully into the tube pan, just like this. So we'll put the last bit of batter in here and then just smooth out the top, because it will pretty much stay that way or close to that way while it's cooking, so you don't want too much stuff going on in the top of your batter. I'm going to clean up the edge here, make sure it's all clean along the edge of the pan. I'm going to put this in the oven. It's at 375. I put a pizza stone on the bottom rack of the bottom third of your oven, and it's just going to help get the cooking started. And before I put it in there, I'm just going to tap it on the countertop to get rid of any air bubbles that might be in the aerated batter still. If you have a 9-inch pan, it's going to go in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes, or a 10-inch pan like this for 35 to 40 minutes. So once it's done cooking, then I'll be right back just to let you know what the next step is. The timer went off, and so now what you want to do, oh, it smells so good. You want to invert it over a wine bottle or some sort of bottle with a narrow neck, and leave it like this for about an hour and a half so it'll cool and it won't compress if it were sitting upright. Now it's been at least an hour and a half since we had this angel food cake sitting on top of the bottle upside down, again to allow it to so that it won't collapse while it's cooling. And what we want to do now is separate the 2 pieces of the angel food cake pan. So I have a thin knife. This is a boning knife. I'm just going to go around the outer edge as well as the inner edge. Okay. We can take the inside out. Perfect. And now we're going to want to separate the base from the cake itself. And here we go. Voila! We have our cake stand. And this is a thing of beauty. Look at that. And my favorite part is cutting into the dessert. Here we go. Look how lovely, look at that. This actually has the perfect crumb. It's really crispy on the edge, on the top, and if you can see that, wow, look at that. That is perfectly light. So let's get another pretty piece. Here we go. Ooh, that's pretty. Do like that. Then we have over here, you can serve it with, you can actually ice it with like a 7-minute icing, which I tend to not do. I like my angel food cake pure. Put a little bit of whipped cream on the side. It's pretty. And a couple strawberries. And here we go. Look at that thing of beauty. Take a little bite of it and see how well we did. The fine crust on the top has the perfect bite when you bite into it. It's just sweet enough, pillowy enough, and oh, this is wonderful. So, now you know you don't have to buy the angel food cake in your grocery store. You can make it just as easily at home. It's wonderful. It's your wonderful meal, your wonderful dish, and please enjoy it at home. I'd like to thank Mary Moore for allowing me to use her grandmother Mimi's dish, and I'm so grateful that I saw it in Shirley Corher's Bakewise cookbook. So, from my kitchen to yours, I hope you enjoy the good life.